Hey, welcome back to Brandon Media Strategies. We are in session 11. Oh boy, do you understand that we're getting so close to the end? We have session 11, Thursday through Thursday. I think we have session 12, is Thursday through Thursday. And then we start on our last 4 weeks. Week 13, 14, 15, and 16. We start to grade out, start to, you get less. You're going to get a little bit less. We're going to start finalizing some projects, and you're going to do some 4 of these get finalized. 4 of the things that we've been working on through the year or through the semesters are going to get finalized in a very easy way, in fun way. We start reducing. The book doesn't go. I don't think we have the book until the book may end at week 14. Don't quote me on that. And we just start lightening up now because that's the way it works. We'll have one more major project, and then we're gonna finish up all the other stuff that we've been working on. And you'll see when it comes up, and it's a lot of fun, and a lot of students enjoy it. Or I've heard good comments about the closing of the year. And I know you might be like, but wait, but like we're in session 11. That's almost 3/4 of the way through. We're almost done with project 3 out of 4 projects. We've done a lot. It's been a great semester. Hope everybody's learning a lot, having fun along the way. I know, and the main takeaway is, and I hear about it, for like frickin' margins and widows. I know I get made fun of. All right. So as we go through this, again, please double check, look through your easy registration checklist, and you will see what you need to take next semester. If you've taken it and passed, you are allowed to move forward. I am stating this for anybody now that is in this, and I think I mentioned it last week. 4th semester will soon be changing. Starting in fall of the year 2026, we will only be offering 2 of the 4th semester courses, and then spring will be the other 2. So we are going to start to separate that out. And this may then slightly occur in the 3rd semester, but for the following year, so for spring, everything will be offered. Next year, you will need to then start to look at the schedules more in advance and see, okay, only these are being offered, and then you're going to have to wait until spring to take other courses. We're just starting to split to run bigger classes, larger classes. So keep that in mind. Not everything will continue to run as it has per you being here at MATC. We're starting to make some changes. Not a big deal. Still offer the same classes. Just if you were planning on portfolio assessment for next fall, portfolio assessment will be offered next spring. Please talk to me about these. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, I can answer those questions. So please ask me. Graphic design quick challenge. I talked about this before. Nobody should ever not get an A on this because you can use the internet. Managing assets. Read the book. Every designer needs to know 11. I think this is number 11. You will be doing 15 total. Start the countdown. Exploring Brands D. This is the final Exploring Brands that you will be doing for me. And then it switches to something else. So exciting. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Look at that. Come on. Why did everything just shut down on me? So Exploring Brands. Now let's talk about Dr. Bronner's. I just updated this like a minute ago. So if you were savvy and you came on early, I had a brain freeze and I forgot that I'm trying to like remake how these look, try to make it very clear. So what's due when, what is due at the end of phase 3. And as we go through, why do they keep shifting? Hey, man. As we go through, these are in black. We've already completed this, right? You've already completed your logo variations. Those were due today. I want to see a poster mock-up. I want to see the flyer mock-up, and I want to see the web screen opener mock-up. And that's today. They're due at midnight, and then I will grade them over the weekend. I will get to my #1 grading for you all is phase 2, which should be done tomorrow morning. Just so you can move on, because I know everybody's like, you know what I want to do over the weekend is really crank out brand and media strategies. So, but I will have that done so you know well in advance, like, okay, this is what he said, made some changes, do some updates, do some other things. Let's move on, especially to billboard and unique stand-up. I won't drabble on too long. Of course, we know the media posts. What do you have? It is the standard square media post. 1, 2, 3. You have done this twice before. This is just a standard. We do it for all our clients and all our things. What are the most important things you need to be telling something? They need to know the logo information front and center. What does that mean? Like, you can just place your logo on one of them with a beautiful background and be done. Maybe I'll split this up. Let's do this. I'll do mine. I'll do some today and some on Tuesday. All right, so I got this. I'm going to open it up. Sorry, it still says Bubbler. You know it's not for Bubbler. It's just the Instagram burst. All right, so I got this one for artwork. My first one is I'm going to just open up my design files and pull over the background like this. I'm just going to open this. This is my web opener. And it shouldn't have the missing links because I worked on the, and I'm going to select all except for the crop marks. I'm going to copy, see that, copy. And I'm going to double check my layers and I'm going to have paste, remember layers. Why do I do that? Because then when I go here and I hit paste, it is going to create the 3 layers already named and everything all where it needs to be. And then I don't have to worry about this artwork layer. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to speed through and double click on scale and just put 25 in there. Holy crap, look at that. 25 was the exact size I need, but guess what? I'm not going to keep it like this. But that background is pretty rad. And it just needs to be a little bit bigger. So I'll go to free transform and I'm going to grab that. I hate when it does that. Does it with that big? I want to scale it, not rotate it. But I need to hold down shift. I'm going to constrain it by holding down the shift button. Sorry, shift, see that? There it is. I'm sorry, sometimes I use the wrong key. And then I'm going to zoom in, right? As we do zoom in, this is driving me nuts. Where are my links? Usually I have them here. This should just be auto updating. I don't want actions, I just want links. And I'm never sure like what to do. I didn't move it. And I think it must be something that, you know, we all work through these errors and I feel like it's something from, there you go. Like it's something in the system that just doesn't work right. You know, like through Adobe and they're like, use our cloud. And it's like, well, I can't like try to use a cloud. So the first one, I'm going to pull the images off. I don't want the images on the first one. And I'm going to take my logo and I'm gonna make it as big as the margins. Done. Like super simple, super straightforward. Again, I'm holding shift whenever I resize anything. I make sure I hold down shift and I'm pulling it and making it as big as possible. And I know it's centered that way, and I'm looking at this, pew, it's centered that way. Guess what I'm gonna go up to? And there's my first one. Big, bold, and beautiful, right? It's not small. I gotta look at this on your phone. You're looking at a big screen. What is it? It's gonna be like that size? I need to be able to read that. That's the big point. You need to be able to read stuff. So it can be fairly simple. Then now the thing is, why do we do 3? If I ran 3 of the same ad, what happens is we get visual blindness, repetitive blindness. I kind of forget that real name. I think it's covered in that book that the every designer needs to know. But what happens is if it doesn't change and we see the same thing over and over and over, we actually stop seeing it. Our mind just glosses over it. We move on. We stop seeing it. So with each one of these, I'm going to change it just a little bit. So for this next one, I'm going to grab the logo. I'm going to keep the logo the same size, and I'm going to copy it over, and I'm going to move this one to the top. And I'm going to line it up with my margins, and then I'm going to put 3 of these pictures in, maybe 2. Maybe not, yeah, maybe just 2. No, maybe I'll do all 3. I'll see how big they look. You know, that's a kicker. So right now, I'm gonna line them up. I'm down on my bleed, right? Because I gotta account for bleed. We don't want any screw ups. I'm resizing my image by holding down shift. Again, I hit the wrong button. I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna grab all 3 images, and I'm gonna hold down shift to scale them. Now I'm gonna look at where people are ending up comparatively to the border. Like, do I want her eyeball cut off like that? And if I don't, maybe what I can do is just simply delete this image, move this image over, because I see some green peeking through, and they're not lined up. So I can just grab this, shift grab that, hit the alignment tool. They're perfectly aligned. I didn't do anything. Computer did it for me. Oh my gosh, it's so easy. The computer does it for you. Then I'm gonna hold down shift, and I'm gonna drag all the way to my bleed. Now I get this full guy in there. I get the girl, her hair, nothing's gonna get cut off. I see those hands, beautiful. What about this last one? Same background. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, like I understand. I kind of wish I would have made an alternative background color, but you know, I'm thinking Earth Day. So then let's go to here. We're gonna do the same thing. Guess where I'm gonna put this one now? Call it out. Let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna put it low and line it up with my margin, and then I'm gonna take this 2 images and do the reverse. People washing up. This one's gonna be harder because the top gets cut off, and that's where heads are. So I'm gonna grab these 2. I'm gonna make sure that they're lined up on the bottom, right there. I'm going to pull this over. I'm gonna start at the bleed. I will hold on the space bar. I will shift it over. I will make sure I'm on that. I will now hold down shift and then grow these. Now I'm going to look up here again. I have to go to the bleed. Oh, it gives me more space. I'm all the way at the bleed. Now her head's cut off. I'm not worried about this. I'm going to show you a trick. It's not intended for full bleed, but it can be used as a stopgap for maybe a little couple inches, a little like quarter of an inch. I don't want her head cut off. So I'm going to take these two images and flip them upside down by double clicking on this. I want it horizontal, and I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm just going to match this. So see how they match? And then what you can do is bring that down maybe to halfway. I will say I want her head just into that, just into there. That's a little tight even. See the artboard is the black line. It's just a little bit tight. But it'll work. And I'm actually, I can back out on this like 2 clicks. I just don't want any green showing. We don't want any green there. Oh, I see green. 2 clicks. And look at that. So it has a line, but it would be a rarity that something would shift so hard that it would be that far, but I'm covered. Like, I will accept that as like, okay, they would have to really mess it up. And then this blending in, nobody's going to notice that. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to be like, oh, but it doesn't go to green. It doesn't go to anything that if there is a shift in the system. So there you go. So I'm going to save these as file, save as. I want to save to Creative Cloud. I'm going to save in 142. I'm going to save into my Dr. Bronner's folder, and I'm going to call it Dr. B Instagram, because I do these every semester. Fall 25. And I'm going to hit save. There we go. All right. I will leave. That's what I'm talking about. So big, bold, big and bold. I do not want a paragraph of information on Instagram. If you give me a paragraph of information on Instagram for the Instagram burst, I'm going to ask you to show me an Instagram ad that you have seen into which a paragraph of information was displayed as from a client, from a client. I don't know why I keep saying the client. I'm losing my mind. But I will ask you to show me one and be like, when have you seen somebody type an entire paragraph, put it as their Instagram from a company? From a company, not JoJo whatever who wrote a poem and they posted their poem, but from a company. And if you're like, oh, they post a paragraph of information once, I'll be like, let me see it. Let's see what they do. I do not want a paragraph of information. So back out. Those are my 3 buttes. Switches up a little bit, enough to have me notice that there is a change and I reread it. Perfect. Let's talk about the stand-up. I'm going to do some drawing, and I'll do the web opener later. All right, so for the stand-up, let's go to an old stand-up. All right, I have a new Illustrator. Just because there's things you need to know about the stand-up in order for the stand-up to be correct. And I'm going to go through those. And then next week, I'll design my stand-up. When it comes to the billboard that we're doing, the billboard can be very similar to your web opener. We want images to bring it to life. We want the logo super big. It's a billboard. No paragraph of information on the billboard either. We need to remove that. We want people who are driving at 60 miles an hour need to read something quick, and a paragraph of information does not work. Does that make sense? Think about it. Like, you're driving and then you can't read it. Like, just the logo as big as possible with some imagery and some fun. We want people to look up and be like, oh, that's cute. All right. So, and I'll talk about that more next week. So your files, 142, Dr. Bronner's. Here it is, stand up. This is old. I'll ignore. Okay. So this is a base stand-up design. And what I want you to realize and think about, and this is from exhibition design, is heights and size. The average person is 6 feet tall. I believe it is maybe like 5'11", but we've been growing. So if you were to average out 1,000 people, the average height is maybe like 5'11", 5'10", but it's close to 6 feet tall. My design is set up at 6 feet tall, 72 inches. It's just 6 feet. The width of my design shall be 36 inches, which is 3 feet, or smaller. Let me repeat that. The stand-up should be 3 feet or smaller. That is a standard size. 6 feet, 3 feet by 6 feet with height. 3 by 6 feet is the standard form. Now, when we are talking about a stand-up and we are in a store, look at my person and look where the average head height is comparatively to where your information will be. This is a poor stand-up. Do you know why? Can you speak to why this would be a bad idea? Let me have some fun and goof around. This is why. Right there. My main information is at crotch height. I don't want to lean down to read the information about the celebration. But what can happen down low is beautiful imagery, repeating patterns, beautiful stuff. And then we put our information up within the range of somebody looking. So my eyeballs will go from here to here. When I'm walking through the store, right? What's the worst thing to get at the store? Is the thing down at the bottom. You just crouch down, I can't see, blah, blah, blah. We need to make sure your greatest information is held within the first 2 to 3 feet of your stand-up. If I see somebody put their Earth Day celebration down by their feet, you will hear from me. And then I will say, I can tell you did not watch my video in which I said, do not place any important information at the lower half of your stand-up. I only want beautiful images, repeating patterns, soap and product shots that can be down low. All the good information needs to be up top. This is, let's hear it, a poor example. A poor example. Let's zoom this in. Each one of these blocks is 1 foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God damn it. Why is that slow? So that's 6 feet. Each one of these is a foot, right? 1, 2, 3. Look at your wall. Go to a wall in your house, get a tape measure or something, and measure up 3 feet. Put a little piece of tape and be like, yeah, that's really low to the ground. Nobody's going to read that. It needs to be in the top half. This is just beauty. You know, like when I was doing this and I was excited about this pattern here, and I was like, oh, I wanted around the bottom. I never got to finish this, but what I was going to do, my end all be all, was to actually raise this bottle up. So this celebration was higher, and I was going to lose some stuff. again, this was last year, not a big year, not a big deal. I will show you what I do for this year on Tuesday, and you'll be, oh, wow. And like, I got to keep all that in mind. So let me repeat this for you one more time. When you create and design your stand-up, no important information shall be below the 3-foot mark. 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Beautiful, not like product shots, imagery of people, soaping up, funness, trees, flowers, leaves, but nothing where they have to read about the sale. We want that at the very top. We want people to see that and celebrate it. I think that should be good. And I think I talked a lot about this. If for some reason you have a question, comment, or concern about the stand-up, or you don't understand it, what does it mean, I will review this with you so you get it right. It's a super fun part, but sometimes if you're new to it, you're like, oh, I'm not really sure about it. We will go over it. I can go over it again with you. But it's a approximately 3 foot wide by 6 foot tall advertisement that goes in a store to showcase the sale that is happening for Earth Day, into which the important information needs to go in the top half of the design, and the lower half is there just as a boost. Please let me know if you have questions, comments, or concerns about that. Cool. I think that's pretty good. We'll talk again on Tuesday. Reach out to me. Let me know what's going on. And we'll talk more in the future. All right. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing these logo developments and posters and everything. I'm very excited for Friday morning. Wake up and start working on brand and media. All right. Take care. Good to talk to you. See you later. Bye-bye.